husband's mistress knocked on my door and demanded that my children and I move out of our house. A woman I'd never seen before knocked on my door at 8 in the morning while my kids were eating breakfast. She stood there in designer heels and a dress that cost more than my monthly grocery budget. "You need to be out by the end of the month," she said, like she was discussing the weather. "Trevor and I are ready to make this our home." I thought she was insane. Some random woman showed up at my house talking about my husband Trevor and making demands. Then she held up a key, my house key. "Trevor gave this to me. He said you'd be difficult about the transition, but that you'd eventually understand this is what's best for everyone." She walked past me into my living room like she owned the place. Started talking about paint colors and which walls she'd knock down. My 3 kids stood there watching this stranger plan renovations to their home. "The children's rooms will make perfect guest suites once they're living with you full time," she said. Trevor promised they'd only visit on holidays. That's when I learned my husband had been having an affair with Natalie for 2 years. 2 years of business trips that were really romantic getaways. 2 years of working late meant dinner at her apartment. 2 years of lying while I raised our children and kept our home running. Natalie had emails from Trevor on her phone, showed them to me right there in my kitchen. He'd promised her everything. The house, his retirement savings, and a fresh start without the baggage of his first family. "He's already talked to a lawyer," she said. "The papers will be served next week. Fighting will just make this harder on your children." She actually said that, like she cared about my kids while planning to steal their home. Trevor came home that night acting normal, kissed me hello, played with the kids, ate the dinner I cooked. I didn't say anything about Natalie's visit. Wanted to see how far he'd take this lie. He even initiated intimacy that night, held me afterward and said he loved me, all while planning to throw us out for his mistress. The next day Natalie came back, this time with a contractor. They measured rooms and discussed budgets while I stood there documenting everything on my phone. She pointed at family photos and said, "These will all need to go, obviously. I'm thinking a more modern aesthetic." The contractor looked uncomfortable when he realized I lived there. "Ma'am, did you approve this consultation?" Natalie laughed. "She doesn't need to. This will be my house soon." That's when I started digging. Found out Natalie thought Trevor owned the house outright. He'd told her he'd bought it before we married, that I had no claim to it, that he was rich from family money and his executive salary. All lies. The house was in my name only. My grandmother had left it to me 5 years before I even met Trevor. He'd moved into my house. He had no legal claim to it at all. His executive job? He was middle management at a company that was about to downsize. His family's money? His parents were retired teachers living on Social Security. He'd been funding his affair with credit cards he'd opened in secret. $40,000 in debt for jewelry, trips, and deposits on venues for a wedding Natalie was already planning. She'd quit her job 6 months ago because Trevor told her she'd never have to work again. She'd given up her apartment and was living in a hotel he was paying for. A hotel that was about to kick her out because his credit card was maxed. I invited Natalie for coffee to discuss the transition. She showed up smug, carrying fabric samples for curtains, started talking about how mature I was being about the situation. Most first wives make such a fuss, but you understand Trevor deserves happiness. I let her talk, let her describe their future, let her show me the engagement ring Trevor had bought with a credit card that was about to be declined. Then I showed her the deed to my house. Her face went pale. "That's not possible," Trevor said. I showed her his real pay stubs. His middle management salary barely covered his car payment. She showed him the credit card statements with her hotel bills about to send him into bankruptcy. Showed her the email from his company about upcoming layoffs that would definitely include him. "He's been lying to both of us," I said. "But you're the one who quit her job and gave up her apartment for a fantasy." Natalie tried to recover. "He loves me. We'll figure it out together." That's when I played the recording of Trevor from that morning. I'd confronted him about the affair before he left for work. He'd broken down completely. "She means nothing." Natalie was just excited. "You're my wife, the mother of my children. I'll end it today. I'll do whatever it takes to save our marriage." I'd asked him directly what he'd promised her. I told her what she wanted to hear. She was so desperate for someone to save her. It was honestly pathetic how easily she believed everything. What kind of idiot quits their job for a married man? Full story on channel, link below.